You wanna do the usual thing?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Zoe Pitchfork. Hit subscribe, hit notifications. We ask that you leave a comment, join the conversation. We appreciate you. ZonePitchfork.com, GRYSKLL, GRYSKLL.com. That's it.
That's it. Banged it, man. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, man.
Support.
I know we jumped on because you had something you wanted to talk about, man. I wanted to definitely Web3. Just like, well, you wanted to have that Web3 conversation. I figured it was good to record, right? But you feel
Yeah, because you was talking about the Web3, and I was thinking about that last night, and I'm interested. I'm like, before I was like, I didn't understand it at all, like really until yesterday. Like as far as Web3,
okay.
Like I understood NFTs, but I didn't understand like Web3 is like its own environment. So just going off the conversation we had off camera. I forgot exactly what you said, but what it triggered in me was that it's always something. And I appreciate that I have you as a friend because you recognize that this is the start. This is a good place to be if you're gonna make a move in this environment. Excuse me for hitting the table. We're in a good place to be if, as far as Web3 in the beginning and all the things that we want to do and contribute to in the world, it's a good thing in that way. But my thing is, it's always something.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's always something. We can't perfect the systems that are in place. So now we got a new system to learn. And, I get it where you can get it. I'm just saying, like, at my age, I'm seeing that, okay, it's perpetual.
Yeah, it's this unfortunate, in my opinion, I feel like it's an unfortunate side effect of capitalism, or just, the society that says you got to get it on your own. There is no community that gets it together. But the difference is, I think here, I don't look at it as us chasing something new because Web3 still doesn't really exist yet. Like it's being created on the fly right now. People are creating it through their everyday activities and they're trying new and different things. Everybody's trying something because there's no standard now. There's no, here's the template to follow. This is what you do. It's almost the Wild West. There's a light framework. Like if this is a house, maybe they got the foundation poured. Maybe there's some concrete in the ground and there's a hole dug in the ground. But there are no beams up in this house yet. There's no structure created for this house yet. Or maybe the beams and the structure are created, but the walls aren't there yet. So we have a chance to kind of define some of what we do. I have an idea I'll tell you offline about. I don't want to say it on recorded, but it's an idea I had that popped into my head this year. Like we can be the first to do quite a few things in Web3, and I think that's one of the things I'm getting excited about too. And like you said, you kind of it just hit you yesterday, and you had an understanding yesterday, a revelation yesterday. It's happening to me every time I kind of get submerged in learning or research or networking in space. I keep having revelations too and realizing, damn, I didn't know shit before. So I don't think you should ever feel uncomfortable, and I'm not saying you do, but I don't think anybody should ever feel uncomfortable about what they don't know or don't understand in this space, because everybody, even the experts, are in the process of perpetual learning and trying to figure things out and experimenting and all that. So nobody knows everything in this space. And one thing I love about this space is it's not like social media is now or whatever, where you got gatekeepers and people are like, yeah, well, you need to be this to do that, or I'm not going to engage with you because you're not doing this or whatever. Everybody's like, yo, this is new and different. We understand. Everybody that's really important in the space understands the importance and value of community. That's one of the biggest buzzwords in the space. And when I say community, I really mean it. Like people are like, yo, let me help you learn how to do this. Like people are offering to help people figure things out. It's one creator that I'm connecting with. She's been struggling and having a few headaches trying to figure out how to get her NFTs going this week. And I've seen 2 or 3 people who are pretty much experts in this space say, yo, I see you're struggling. I see you're having a problem. Let's get on a call. I'll work through this with you. And I got on one of those calls and just kind of was a fly on the wall just to watch. And it's amazing seeing how much people are like taking time out of their day to teach other people with no expectation of returns or no expectation of getting a damn thing out of it. It's beautiful. It reminds me kind of a lot of what doing GRYSKLL feels like. Is, you know, I don't think any of us do.
So you feel comfortable? Like, so you feel comfortable in that environment? Like, you have no concerns? Because I'm just playing devil's advocate right now.
Yeah.
So it's a bunch of people contributing to something. It's a bunch of different people figuring this thing out. Now, when you get it figured out, how do you protect what you figured out?
Well,
how do you protect it before?
Well, I don't know. One, I don't know if it's
like really. Let me ask you this: like the monetization, because everybody's not doing it just because you can paint on canvas now. So it must be a reason why everybody's into it. They want to be monetized. So how does that work?
So
and how do you protect yourself? Do you know?
I don't know necessarily how I haven't thought through how I would protect and if there's a need to protect, for example. I guess I'm sure there's probably some needs and some,
because you just said you did. There's something you're gonna tell me that you don't want to say on camera. So there's
yeah, I don't want somebody to be the first to run with this idea. Yeah. So one, definitely you don't give all your ideas to everybody early on until some things you got to try on your own, and just kind of say, look what I did, and then let everybody else be like, oh, okay, we can try that too, and then build together with them to try and.
But that's what I was gonna say. Is that a concern? Like, is that just like in music or anything else? Is that a concern? Like, is that you the first one to do something, but you don't have the capital or the equity or whatever, and then someone that does sees what you do, and then they
blow with it. Yeah, and honestly, I'd be fine with that. I think that's something I'm fine with in this space. Is like, at least the innovators in the space will understand, you know, because it's on the blockchain and because there's documentation. Like if we put out an NFT doing this idea on the blockchain, there's a record to show, oh, this person created one. If somebody goes and searches for the concept of what this
that's what I wanted to know. Okay.
Yes.
Because I know it's blockchain and
yep.
I've seen things with people get 10% after this, you know, and okay.
And all of these concepts, like, I'm still learning to understand more and more about what the blockchain really is, for example. So I'm not an expert on that. So I don't think anybody should ever feel bad about not understanding what the blockchain is fully at any stage. But the important part is that you're constantly...
You saying that it's a record makes a lot of difference to me. Okay, so there is a record.
Yes, that's a form of protection. You can always go back and say, yeah, I did that first. But it's really just bragging rights. It's not like you have legal recourse or something like that, because there is no law in the world of Web3 yet. For example, a lot of it is like, because you're creating these crypto wallets, there's a lot of ways that some people, collectors and buyers specifically, probably more so than the creators, can hide their identity. So how do you go after and chase somebody for legal recourse if you don't know who somebody is? How do you sue somebody when you don't know who they are, for example? You know what I mean? So that's one of the reasons why it's beautiful too, because it's harder. This is a space where it's hard to get regulation and politics in there. It's really more of a space where you're creating the creators, people who create the NFTs, which could be music, art, or whatever, are creating a one-to-one relationship with their fans, and not even fans, their supporters. Their supporters are really their community, the people that they engage with. Like, you really talk to your fans or your supporters in this world. And you don't have a middleman. Like, you're not going to Spotify to put the music out. You're not going to somewhere else to put the music out. You can send them the file directly and have a direct exchange with them, or direct exchanges with them. And I think it makes the people feel closer to you. And you can reap all of the benefits. You get all the money. There's nobody taking a cut of your bread when you're doing this, which is, I think, really important. One other thing that's, I think, is really special about it is the collectors. A lot of the collectors, they just want to be patrons of good people. One of the guys that was on one of the spaces I was on the other day, for example, he's like, yo, sometimes I get in these spaces and I just hear people's stories, and I don't care whether their NFT is going to be appreciating value, or sometimes I don't even listen to the songs. I'll just go buy it based on off the person's story, off the fact that I know this person seems like a good person who needs support. That's like one of the biggest draws to me, is like people are looking to support good people in some instances. There's some people who are looking at this as just investments, but there are a lot of people who are looking at this like, yo, I just want to be a patron of the arts, and I want to encourage artists to be able to create, be able to keep creating, and I want to enable the art community to grow. I want art to be able to do what it does, which is change the world. So I'm going to put the money in the pockets of people who are really trying to do something positive with their art or with their movements. That to me sounds like GRYSKLL all day. You know what I mean? And I think we get ourselves organized and we put ourselves together. And when I say GRYSKLL, I mean all of us as individuals, and us as a crew, and us as the smaller groups within GRYSKLL. All of there are opportunities for all of that, I think, if we can, one, kind of come to a baseline understanding of at least what the basics of this are, and then we can come together and start implementing and executing plans.
Got you.
Is that a lot of talk? Is that a whole lot of words?
No. I mean, I get it. I appreciate your perspective. Like, I really do, because it's like I'm trying to look at it that way.
Yeah, and
I get it. I get it to a certain extent. Like, I get the reason. I get the wanting to promote art and promote expression and, you know, all those positive things. I get that part. It's just some of the other stuff I don't get. I don't understand. Do you know if Web3 is involved? Will that be a part of like is it the virtual reality? Is that going to be like? Is that like where the fake world is?
I'm glad you asked it like that. That's a perfect question, man. So Web3 isn't necessarily a thing or technology, right? Web3 is more of an idea or concept that covers a variety of different things that are going on in the technology world. So one of the things that it encompasses, or that's included in the concept of Web3, is the idea of NFTs and selling NFTs. Something else is what you're talking about, the VR, the metaverse, where people can go on in the VR and engage virtually. That's another component of the Web3 idea or community or concept. There are other concepts too, but I think those are probably kind of boring, like DAOs. I think I keep mentioning DAOs, but I don't understand it well enough to articulate it. But there are a bunch of different things that are happening as a result of the blockchain. I guess Web3 is a bunch of different things that are happening in the world as a result of the blockchain. And I don't even know what the metaverse. Well, the metaverse kind of engages and talks with it, but I don't know how much that really touches the blockchain either, to tell the truth. So, and that just goes to show how much there is out there that even I don't understand still.
Hey, people, join the conversation. If you can add on, please leave a comment. I would like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
that's beautiful, man. And I think one of the next things I'm going to be doing, I've actually already reached out to one of the creators, the person who's mentioned this NFT that I was telling you about, the person who I was mentioning earlier. I already reached out to her and we got an agreement to do a Zoom so that we can create a piece of content where she can kind of articulate more about what Web3 is and what NFTs are to her and what she's learned. And I think I want to get on with other creators and use that as a way to kind of network and build community, but also to learn and to share the knowledge with our people. Like I want our people, the hip hop community, the boom bap world, corner hip hop specifically, the abstract world, the elders, and the people who love the culture of hip hop. I want to bring that understanding here. Like, for example, and when I say that understanding, I mean like a lot of us just shoot down the idea because it's something new and different, or because it's more technology shit. One guy, I sent an invite to the Discord server. You know, his only response was NFTs are a scam, but he didn't. You know, I don't know if I don't know how much he's looked into it to see. There are a lot of people who are doing scams with NFTs. So if you heard about it as scams first, then that's going to shape your perception of it. But you look at this other side where it's just where they're good patrons supporting artists and trying to encourage artists to continue creating because they believe in the artist's missions or cause and goals. That's a whole nother side that where's the scam in that? You know what I mean? So that there's just a lot of information and a lot to learn out here. And I think I'd love for us to be able to help bring that information to our people.
Gotcha. Gotcha. You definitely helped me. Perspective. It's perspective.
And I'd love to hear perspectives that also shoot down some of what I'm saying too. Just I like to shoot holes in this shit and make sure that, you know, I'm not missing some things too. So I'm not
Now see, I always go to the extreme. Mm-hmm. So it's like my things are just, yeah, if it's here, go ahead and try to work it. Like if you can. Like I don't have the like I still haven't done the song I want to do yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't even think about Web3. I want to get my song done that I haven't done yet that I want to do for 20 years. I ain't did it yet. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to do those things, so I get it. But I'm learning from you, and so I just want to add on with the music if I could, and just with the ideas. I think I have some ideas that could add on. But as nuts and bolts.
You've had some ideas that have sparked me to think of things differently already. You've had some great ideas on this already as we've been talking about it, man. So I like, and I'll be honest, I don't want to get too heavy or too deep into the technology and just focusing on talking about this shit. I really want to focus more on creating the art. Like I just want to understand it well enough so that we can engage with people and build the community and help other people find opportunity. But I don't want to be thinking and talking Web3 NFT every day of my life. I want to be thinking and talking create art. Let's make some music. Let's go help somebody else create some music. Or create some art. Let's go help somebody else and achieve their mission. I want to focus more on that stuff. But I want to have people on our team now. Once we have a baseline understanding, I want to have people in our team who love and are passionate about this Web3 stuff enough to take the lead on that front, so that we can take the lead on doing what we're doing over here. Like I think that's why I really want to build the community more so than anything else, because that's what's going to make this work, is having a community of people or a network of people working together to make this stuff happen, as opposed to us just trying to do things as individuals that only benefit us.
So when you, like, how do you go about, like, how do you engage people, like when you're on Twitter or you said Discord? How do you go about building that community? Like, say you see somebody that the first time you see them, how do you engage?
So that's a damn good question. One, I'm learning because I'm really socially awkward, right? Well, I've been socially awkward, so I'm learning how to socialize in new and different ways now that are, and it's really uncomfortable for me, to be honest. But one of the ways I start, like Twitter is one of the best places to network that I've found. For this is just finding other people who are NFT creators, usually through people that you've met or you've been turned on to. And I start just by looking at their work, getting familiar with what their work is, and I'll retweet, I'll comment, note, just kind of get to know them from the outside looking in first. And then if there's something where I think that, I can either learn from them, or maybe I can offer something, or I just want to let them know that I appreciate their work, I'll make sure I'll try to DM them or something like that. Another thing is way to engage or network that I've found that's been probably extremely helpful is, just a couple people have said, hey, here's my Discord server. And I would jump into their Discord server, and on these Discord servers, they're like chat rooms with different little places where you can talk about different subjects. And in there, I'll look at what people are saying in there, and if something gives me a question in my head, I'll just ask the person in there the question specifically. If it jogs something else, if it jogs some other idea in my head, then gives me something else that I feel like I need to express, then I'll express it. Like I'll say, hey, I've learned that too, and I learned this from it. Or if I have something to share, that I've learned. Other than that, I don't know if I have any other, like, this is how I engage or anything, like any ways of articulating how I engage. But I'll have to think about it and maybe see if I can articulate it better. Is that helpful?
Nah, that was good. I was just curious myself because Discord and those things, I haven't, I'm working on it. I'm working on it, man. Like I'm working on it. Yeah, I don't think you look at it on the computer too, don't you? You do that on the computer.
I do Discord from the phone and the computer, but it like I've had Discord since last year, and I've been on a couple of people's servers since last year, but I did not engage on any of them, and I still don't engage on most of them. I had to find ones that were really valuable and useful where people actually would engage back with me. So there's only like 2 out there now, I think, where I'm getting a little bit of engagement, but that little bit of engagement is teaching me a hell of a lot. So you don't want to just jump in and start swimming in Discord and get all crazy with it. If you can, you want to make sure you find somewhere where there are going to be meaningful conversations with people, where you can find meaningful conversations. And I don't know that that's something you're going to find in a lot of servers. A lot of them are a big mess because they've got them open to a wide community. Like our Discord server is small and private purposefully so that we can actually learn how to engage together and start engaging together first before we add people in, and we'll add people in slowly as we learn how to engage and kind of get it together and figure it out for ourselves. It's kind of what's happening on one of the other servers where I'm getting the most engagement is I'm watching the owner of the server, kind of tailor what's going on in the server to what's happening in the conversations. For example, somebody wanted to share a piece of work for feedback in one of the channels, and she's like, yo, okay, since people may want to get feedback on the work, I'm going to create a separate channel just for feedback, and then boom, that opened up a spot for people to start submitting their work to kind of get input and feedback on some of their music or whatever. So I like spaces like that, and I want to create a space, something like that, so that our space may be the space where we get to learn and engage. And maybe we don't have to do a whole lot of going outside to learn and engage if we can figure out, how to get the right people on our server to help one another.
Got you.
Did that answer the question, man? I feel like it's long.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah.
Nah, man. You doing good, man. You doing good.
Hey, thanks, pal.
Hey, doing good.
But yeah, man. So just keep taking your time with this. One thing I hear from a lot of people, I see a lot of people tweeting and talking about in these things, is take your time when it comes to learning this stuff. A lot of people burn out because there's so much to learn. Everybody tries to absorb everything at once, or tries to learn everything at once, or do all the networking at once, and then you just get tired and burn out, and then you don't even want to think about this stuff. I went through it. I stopped thinking about NFTs for like 2 months this year, starting in March, because I think I was burnt out on the concept, because I was trying to do a lot of engagement and learning, but I was trying to do it alone, so I was overdoing it. Now I think I found the balance, and I engage for a little while each day. I think I do twice a day, just like I'm doing with social media, and try to check in the morning and the evening, and then dip out And I may, read a couple articles or just kind of read kind of what people are saying a couple times throughout the day, but I'm not allowing myself to get submerged in it again. And one other thing I had to say about another great place to learn and engage, and actually maybe one of the best places, maybe the best place, is Twitter Spaces, where they're like little chat rooms where you talk verbally and speak. What I started doing was just going on into these Twitter Spaces and just listening, seeing how people are engaging with each other, and listening to kind of learn the concepts and ideas too, like what are people doing, and that's where I learned to get a better understanding what Web3 is, or how people view NFTs from a collector standpoint and from a creator standpoint. And then once I felt comfortable, then I raised my hand to be able to get into the conversation and maybe either ask a question or just kind of talk about what my experiences, or give whatever thoughts I have. But rarely do I speak in them right now. Right now I'm doing more just soaking, just being a sponge, and just like, okay, what is this, and there's a lot of times in there where I may not understand 80% of what they're talking about, but that 20% gets me a little bit further and moves the chain, so that the next time I'm on, I may not understand 79% of what they're talking about, but I understand a little bit more. And it's been extremely helpful.
Word.
I think that's all I got in my head, man. I'm gonna just text you the idea real quick, just so we can talk about it later.
Okay. I'm with it. I'm down, man.
Hopefully that was enough, man. I'm glad you mentioned it. I'm glad we did that on here, man. That's good. And me having to speak and articulate this is going to help me practice up and get better for speaking in some of these other Twitter Spaces and rooms and all that too, man. So I appreciate you giving me the chance to practice. And
Support, man. Hey. I was trying to throw you some alley oops. I'm a professional. I don't know if you was catching that.
I saw, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, beautiful.
I did write some yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like the Dao Tone, you got me inspired, yo. Because I like how you redid it, and then it just kept getting better. It's like, okay, and it was good at first, but you know what I'm saying? I like your rhythm too. You gotta you know what I'm saying? You gotta,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
that's an honor, man.
But yeah, it inspired me.
Yo, you don't know how much of an honor that is to hear from you, man. I mean, you pretty much my favorite MC, Dan. I think you my favorite MC alive now and shit. So to hear that shit from you,
wow.
Yeah, that shit is humbling as fuck, man. She's giving me some really good feedback too. I sent him the Studio One session.
And you say Supreme? It's like I like how you say certain words, yo. Like, okay.
Hey.
Okay.
It's one thing I used to say to one of the MCs I used to work with, man, because he had a way of being like, just having like character, like animated. He reminded me of a cartoon character sometimes. So, and I always loved it, but I could never like draw it out from him on tracks that I work with him on. So I've always wanted to like be able to kind of put that in there. I didn't think I had that in me, man, but I think I'm finding a way to be able to draw a version of what I was looking for out in there. So it's good to hear you say that, especially with that word right there, that Supreme was specifically for that purpose, man. So
I noticed that. I was like, okay. I listened to it.
Yeah.
Like, see, yeah, I ain't gonna say that on camera. But I listened to that, yo.
Yo, and what's even doper about that is that's actually a nod to Lord too, because that's a word he used to use, and he got all of us using back in the day. So that word is like my little it's my nugget for you, brother. Thank you. It's one of my things to him, man. So it's really dope that you mentioned that word specifically just for that purpose. Like, okay, good. It's getting it, and I think she did the same thing. He responded to that, so like, good. That means my tribute of my ode to Lord is making it through, man.
Support.
Yeah,
man. That's good stuff, man.
I appreciate you, man.
Good stuff.
I heard about that some people are pissed off about Kendrick's album. You ain't heard about that yet?
Nah, I haven't been on anything. I got on Twitter. I've been getting on Twitter just for like 2 minutes. In the 2 minutes I was on there, I heard people saying something about well, I saw one person saying that they just don't like his music, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. If you get a chance, have you listened to it yet? The album?
Mm-mm.
I just want to hear your opinion if you decide to listen to it. I ain't gonna press you to listen to it.
I'm gonna listen to it like
perspective. A couple.
My mind is made up, Pitchfork. I don't have to hear it. I like Kendrick.
Yeah.
I like Kendrick.
I always love Kendrick.
I trust Kendrick. I really do. And I'm sure it's a masterpiece. I ain't even heard it. But I'm sure it is, yo, like, but I'm gonna check it out. I like him. Like, that's how I am. If I like the person, you won already.
Yeah. And I still don't have my opinion on where it stands kind of in his discography or any of that yet, because I still haven't done that listen yet. But I've listened to it a couple, like the first listen, I was like, okay, yeah, it was just the vibe and catching a few of the lyrics. But it's hard. I realize it's hard for me to hear lyrics, like physically detect the lyrics and separate them from the tracks so that I can like pay attention to what's being said. I realize that's part of what happens to me. So I got to really go deep in, do a deep dive on the lyrics so I can make sure I have a real solid understanding of what his intentions are for the songs. But sonically and feel wise and from the messages and the techniques and stuff I saw, I definitely say I'm happy with the album. I'm looking forward to playing it more. Like, I will be playing it more. I can say that much. I don't have a ranking. I probably never rank it, but it's definitely worth a re-listen. And that says a lot to me. There's not a lot of albums that encourage me to re-listen. Especially.
Got you. I'm gonna check it out. I heard one song, and the song I heard was, it was crazy as far as production and his lyricism. Yeah, so I'm gonna definitely check it out.
And you being an artist, something else I would recommend that'll really help you really see, because I really want you to like see his vision for the album. Like he's like the dude that you got to use the decoder ring for, right? If you look at his visuals when you see this, he's got, I think, 3 videos out for it now. They're important. Look at the cover art. Take your time and really, really look at the cover art before, after, and during you're watching the joint. It's an experience, in my opinion, and I really love to hear your feelings and opinions on that after a couple listens, especially after looking at making sure you check the visuals and the cover art, man.
Got you, man.
Yeah, I'm
gonna definitely check it out.
Okay. It's good talking to you as always, then, brother, man. I'm glad to see you. Good to see you today. And
yes, sir.
Holla again, man, for sure, man. I guess we should start this shit out with the proper with the same shit you said at the beginning, man. You wanna bang that too?
Yo, we appreciate y'all checking us out. Another episode of Zoe and Pitchfork. We just chopping it up. When you get time, you're gonna make time. Hit subscribe. Hit the notifications, join the conversation. If you can help us out with some information, please do. Leave a comment. ZoeandPitchfork.com, GRYSKLL.com, DragonsPitchfork.com. Just check the links.
KareemMuse.com.
Support.
And HouseOfFluidReflections.com. We got season 2 of Artist Touch about to drop. We just finished the episode and sent it off to the creator to review and give back. We're hoping that the season 2 opener drops next week or the week after. I'm excited about this one, man. I think we really got a chance to play with and do something different with this episode. So I'm looking forward to season 2, man.
I'm looking forward to it too, man. Good stuff.
Good stuff, brother. I appreciate you, man. Love you, brother.
Love you too, man. We gonna link. Hey, man, if you can, hit me up tonight, man, if you can, just for 10 minutes, yo.
Okay. I'll do that then, man. All right, peace.
Peace.
Yep, just keep moving around. We're just gonna do video. You can pull stills wherever you want. There we go. Whoop. Hey, that's what the fuck is up.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Okay.
And I guess we need to ask, you comfortable with us filming the episode in the crib?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
we can.
cool.
We'll just do it in my little little couch.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You had a dope ass wall that she was.
Oh, he's
showing
in
us.
love with your wall. I showed
The wall
him
you
on
wrote on?
Instagram.
Oh
the
yeah,
one you
that's
wrote
my
on.
bedroom. We can do
Yeah.
that.